Alright, what's happening, everybody? Looper Norris here. I hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing alright out there. Weather's getting nicer. We're getting closer to summertime now, so you know what I mean? Good vibes everywhere. I'm getting closer to performing soon, okay? The way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna try to do an open mic first. Put it on camera. I don't expect anyone to be there, basically, like when I perform. I'm kind of hoping that there's like nobody there so that it gives me like the opportunity to like practice my my set and make sure I got it like down clean. I don't want to make any mistakes or anything like that. I'm gonna set up a open mic first at one of the bars that I live close by. Start off there, and then eventually I'm gonna start like promoting the shows that I do so that I can get more people to come. But I'm gonna take it slow. Just like get into it. Start off with an open mic just for like practice reasons, and then I'll do like a bigger like venue, or like a, you know what I mean, like go to a bar where I can actually set up like a real show and actually like get people to come. So I'm working on that. Currently working on an album. This album, so I'll actually give the name of the album for this. In this video, I'm gonna give you the name of the future album that I'm currently working on. I'm working on a 10-track LP. I'm not gonna give the exact day yet because I'm not sure which day it's gonna be. I'm not sure when this album's gonna be finished, right? I'm still working on it, so I'm thinking maybe like the mid part of July I'll have it finished. Yeah, like I'm currently working on an album. This album that I'm working on, I'm thinking of naming it The End of Fun Days. It's gonna be The End of Fun Days, like a Sunday like ice cream, right? But instead of S I put F, so it's The End of Fun Days. Yeah, it's a name that I've been working on since I started like making beats for the album. Like it's like an album. This is gonna be like an album. It's not a mixtape or like an EP or anything like that. This is like a straight up legit album. The name represents the songs and like what the album's gonna be about. Stay tuned for that. I have a new single coming out soon called NPC 1 Billion. That's set for May 20th. So stay tuned for that. I'll have it uploaded on my YouTube channel. I'll probably post it on my YouTube channel like a day before, or like maybe a couple of days before, just because I could. And then it'll appear on Spotify on the 20th of May. So stay tuned for that. Today we have an Elevator Music. I think we're at volume 39. Elevator Music. We're gonna do an album review, another album review. This one is by JID, The Forever Story, I believe it's called. Yeah, so JID from Atlanta, Georgia. The Forever Story, released in 2022. I think October 31st, 2022. It was released. It's an album that I've heard before, but I gave it another listen just so that I can give you guys a full review on it. So we're gonna get right into it. JID from Atlanta, Georgia. He's currently signed to J. Cole's label. This album was pretty dope. I really enjoyed it. It was one of those albums that like I didn't expect it to be this good. But I mean, I feel like that's with every album that I listen to. I usually don't expect it to be like good at all. Not at all, but like I expect it to be bad, and then it ends up like blowing me away. So it ends up changing my perspective, changing my mind. So that's what this album did. We're gonna go track for track, and starting with the first song, Galaxy. I found it was a good intro to put into this album. I really enjoyed like the singing parts, very soothing. It's only like 40 seconds long, but it's like the perfect first track to put in, intro track. Raydar. The one thing about JID, he sounds a lot like Kendrick Lamar. Just listening to the way he raps, it's not the same. He has different styles. He has a huge bag when it comes to like switching up his style, so he doesn't completely sound like Kendrick, but he reminds me of Kendrick. It's like the voice and like the speed rapping and like the syllables, like the quick syllable type thing. It's cool that he was a football player. Talks about it a little bit with the skit in this song. Talks a little bit about his football background, and he has like a football skit going on with like the ref. The third song, Dance Now, bouncy beat, the kind of beat that I usually like to either make or listen to. So I really like appreciate that type of beat. Cool flow on it, catchy hook. He has like all the things that you want out of a rapper. He basically has down like at like a very high level. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing I respect from JID. Crack sandwich, very East Coast style beat, East Coast style flow, which is pretty cool because he switches his style up a lot throughout the album. He'll go with like his Atlanta flow, where he kind of sound like the Migos, then he can sound like Kendrick Lamar, then he can sound like maybe like Nas. Kind of on this track, he's sort of going with that style, very East Coast feeling. Can't Punk Me, great feature from Eartgang. Earthgang's another group that I listen to a lot, and I think they're associated with each other too. They're from the same area. Surround sound, it's another great sample. That was one of my favorite songs from Mos Def, so it was really cool to hear it in the beat as like a sample or like a sample flip. Kody Blu 31. I like the cool flow on it. A very cool, like unique style flow. The soulful singing on it with like a jazzy type of arrangement with the beat. I found that pretty cool and different. Nothing like anything I've heard before. That's a lot of the songs on here. I feel like a lot of the songs were made in a way where like I've never heard any other rapper make it that way, which is like extremely impressive for me. Next song, Bruddanem. I think he's like trying to use like a Jamaican like patois way of saying like brother them. So it's like Bruddanem. Yeah, it's like I know what he means when he's like when he titled the song. Like I understand what he's saying. The feature with Lil Durk, great feature. Like he did a really good job at picking out the features for every song, and the features came crazy on the song. Like every feature that he has on this album did a really good job at meshing with the beat, blending in with the beat. And you know what I mean, almost becoming another like instrument instead of just being another rapper on the song. So I feel like Lil Durk did a perfect job at doing that. Sistanem, so it's kind of like brother sister, you know what I mean. Unique beat. I really like the beat. Out of all things about that song, I really do enjoy the beat. The beat selection on here is just crazy, man. It's actually crazy. It's just all the beats are like fire and just they're different sounding at the same time. He did a really good job at that. The next song, Can't Make You Change. Like a lot of the other songs, just great flows, great punchlines, great beat. Everything is just flowing like very like fluently. He did a really good job at like meshing his style with every beat, even though every beat is very different from each other. He did a really good job at like taking the different styles that he's like used to using, meshing them with every beat to like make every track like even bigger than like what it is. So very smart rapper, he's really good at that. Probably the best at doing that compared to like other rappers that I've heard. Stars with Mos Def, another unique cool beat, another great feature. His name is Yasiin Bey. Now he changed his name, I think because of his religion. Mos Def, I know him as Mos Def. I grew up listening to him as Mos Def, so they probably have a good relationship with each other because there's that one track earlier in the album where he featured Miss Fat Booty sample that Mos Def used in his song. Mos Def or Yasiin Bey and JID, they probably have a good relationship with each other. They're probably cool with each other. Next song, Just in Time featuring Lil Wayne. Another great feature. Like that's what I mean with this album and this rapper JID. Very smart when it comes to like adding features to his song. He has very strategic way of doing it to make every song sound a lot better than it can actually sound, way better than they would have sounded if there wasn't a feature. So he does a really good job at that. Like I think it's an important thing when you're constructing an album or a mixtape and you have like collaborations. You want to make sure you're working with the right person with the right beat. The song Money, I personally think this is the best song on the album. It's the single off of the album that he released before the album, I think, because there's a music video for it. It's a great song. Great message behind the song, great metaphors and punchlines used in the song to kind of like connect everything. I really enjoyed listening to that song Money. 14 Better Days, very soul Quarian, Outcast type of feel when I listen to the song, like the Dungeon Family type of, like CeeLo Green type of thing. Very soulful, very like, it reminds me of like Erykah Badu type of thing, where it's like very eccentric and very like spiritual and very like psychedelic type of like beat and track. He goes with like a hip hop flow on it. He doesn't like sing or try to do too much, just straight up rapping on it. And his rapping style is like, it's clean, man. It's up there. It's up there. He's one of the best rappers I've ever heard. 100%, man. Lauder too. The next song, cool beat, experimental style beat. A lot of the beats on here are very experimental, which I personally enjoy. And he does a really good job at constructing his songwriting to make the beat pop out even more and make the best out of the song. And the last song, 2007, a 7-minute track song talking about his come up playing football, how he had to switch his career and his interest onto music, because he felt early in his football career that he wasn't going to make the pros. It was always in his plans to make the pros, but as soon as he found out that his talent wasn't at that level, he switched to hip hop. And I mean, the rest is history, right? He has like over 100 million monthly listeners on his Spotify. He's a megastar, superstar artist now. Everybody in the world knows him. Kind of like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole type of like career. The way he blew up with his music. He blew up with his music with real stuff, you know what I mean? Like this album here, for an artist like this to have that many fans and that much clout to his name and that much exposure, but using real music and not just talking about the typical things you hear from rappers. It's very poetic style album, very lyrical album. It's really cool, and it brings a lot of promise to artists that want to bring that type of energy in the scene, instead of just like copying the next rapper and like being like another like I don't want to say like clout rapper, but like, you know, the typical rapper that's just talking about the things that are usually talked about in the industry just to kind of like get the check, right? Instead of like pouring out your feelings and actually like trying to create a emotional connection with the fan in terms of like using like more poetic style songs and focusing more on like the lyricism and like constructing beats that no one's ever heard before, you know what I mean? JID did a perfect job at doing that on this album. Incredible album, man. Like, I gave Denzel Curry 9.4 for his album, and that's the highest rating I ever gave. So like, I almost want to like give this one, it might be like a smidget higher. Like I'll say 9, I'll give it a 9.42 out of 10. I'll keep it at the same level as Melt My Eyes, See Your Future, because that album comes to my head when I think about like, is this the best album I've ever heard so far throughout these like elevator music album reviews? It might possibly be, but for now, I think I'm going to give it a 9.4 out of 10, the same rating I gave Denzel Curry's album. I feel like that's the fair thing to do, because like, it's hard for me to put one album over the other. So yeah, 9.4 out of 10. JID, genius rapper, incredible experience listening to his album. I'm very, very impressed. The beat selection is incredible. A lot of beats and a lot of styles that I've never heard of from like any other song before. So, and a lot of flows that I never heard from any rapper before. Even though he sounds a lot like Kendrick Lamar, like he doesn't really sound like Kendrick Lamar, like he does and he doesn't. He's skilled enough to understand that maybe he gets those comparisons a lot, and he's skilled enough to like change that narrative and like become his own rapper under his own name. So that's the album review for today. Elevator Music number 39. I might be wrong about that, but I think we're at 39. I want to thank everybody for watching my videos, watching this video. Really do appreciate it. It's helping me a whole lot. Just the views is helping me by itself. But if you can give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. I got plenty more content to come. I got more music videos, more songs, more reviews, more videos where I'm just talking, just more singles to come out. I got a new single, NPC 1 Billion, coming out very soon. May 20th, you'll find it on YouTube. Yeah, that's all I gotta say for today. Stay tuned for the next video coming up very soon. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm Looper Norris. Yeah, I'm out of here. Peace.